Okay, so in this video, I'm going to speak to you about getting your very first client. As we know, getting your first client is obviously the hardest, okay? You have the least experience when you first start, you have the least knowledge of the industry, you have the least amount of results to be able to show. Look, the first client is absolutely the most difficult. However, does it mean it is impossible? Absolutely not. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do as a complete beginner with no experience to stand out and actually get that very first client through the door. Okay, so the first tip for that is, look, if you don't have all of the results and stuff like that to back you up, you want to win on rapport, okay? You want to win by standing out. And the best thing you can do, the first recommendation for you, is during your outreach process, whether you're using Upwork and freelance websites, whether you're using LinkedIn or cold email, is actually attach Loom videos to your outreach. Look, when I recommend to my students when they're doing Upwork outreach as a beginner, just a simple 60-second video that just says something along the lines of like, "Hey John, hope you're doing well. My name's Brad. I'm looking at your job here. I notice you're looking for a Facebook advertising expert to help you for your gym. Just so you know, this is actually something I'm super interested in. Definitely something I would love to help you with. If you're available, I'd love to jump on a call, find out more information about your business and see specifically how I can help. I also have a bunch of ideas to share with you on the topic. So yeah, let me know and we can go from there. All the best." Boom. 30 seconds long, something like that. Doesn't have to be fancy. That is going to help you stand out and actually get your responses. So tip number 1, add video where possible to increase the personalization of your outreach. Tip number 2, rapport, okay? Look, when you first get started, the whole reason I got my very first client, it wasn't experience. I didn't even send one of those Loom videos. It was purely because even though I jumped on a call with my first prospect without pretty much any experience, I spent over an hour on that call just building a relationship, showing genuine interest in the business, finding out about him as a person, okay, asking a bunch of questions, learning about them, and actually building up a good relationship with a prospect. What this meant is because we had such a good relationship, even though I didn't have the most experience, because they believed in me, because we had a good relationship, because we really liked each other, because it was clear that, you know, we got on. That often is all that it takes, especially as a beginner. If you can stand out and build that relationship, you have a deep connection, it's going to be hard for them to say no if they want you as part of that business. So the second tip is ask questions, show genuine interest, and in the beginning, more than ever, have a huge focus on showing that you care and building a relationship with your prospect. Okay, the more rapport, the more of a relationship you have, the higher chance that you're actually going to close a deal. And the third tip that I have for you is always, this is important whether you're an expert or a beginner, but even more so as a beginner. I wish that I started doing this in the beginning because I'd have closed so many more deals. But what you need to do is always get a commitment at the end of the call. Now, when I say a commitment, I don't necessarily mean you need to get payment upfront on the call. That could come across quite salesy, especially in the beginning, okay? And that's not necessarily what you want. What I mean is any kind of commitment, and this is actually known, it's called the foot in the door technique, which basically means if you can just get your foot in the door, it's a lot easier for you to then open the door fully and start a working relationship. So what do I mean? You know, if this was a Facebook advertising prospect, it could be something as simple as getting access to an ad account. It could be getting your prospect to fill out the onboarding form whilst they're on the call or sending them the onboarding form. It could be getting set up in Slack, or my favorite, which I think you should do on every call until they pay and are fully onboarded, is get a secondary or a third follow-up call scheduled in, and get it, not just say, look, we're going to have a call, get a time and date booked in on the calendar, just so you've got that level of commitment. Because what that means is, first of all, you've got that foot in the door, but secondary, you're actually moving them further down the line towards the close. Look, the worst thing you can do after a call is just leave it, because at the end of the day, you are working with business owners. You know what business owners are like? They get very busy, and even if they're super interested, they can get caught up in other things. If they've got a time scheduled in their calendar, it's a lot more likely that first of all they're going to take action, and second of all it's going to be you because you've spent the most time with them. And especially if, look, you've sent a video to stand out. Secondary, you've built a really great relationship, you've focused on rapport, and then third, you've got a commitment at the end of the call to progress it forward. That is going to increase your chances massively, like literally tenfold, of getting that very first client through the door. So there we have it. I hope you found a bunch of value. Now, if you are interested in any high-level training, I'm actually currently just recently released a one-to-one guaranteed results coaching mentorship program. So if you're interested in growing your agency, first of all, you've got to be very coachable and you've got to be willing to work hard. But if you are looking for success and you want me to literally guarantee it or you don't pay, check out the link in the description. You can either join the waitlist or book in a call directly with me to see if you are a good fit. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.